What's going on, everyone? So, making our way through this roster, let's talk about Bronny James. So, Bronny James, still 20 years old. He won't be 21 until October, so right before the season begins. I mean, he's younger than the draft pick we drafted this year in Adu Thero. I am very high on Bronny James. I think he has a world of potential. I'm not necessarily saying superstar or anything like that. I'm talking about just him being even just a quality two-way 3-and-D guard. If he's a more athletic Gabe Vincent for us and he can shoot, 37, 38% from three-point range, but defend multiple positions, be a high flyer, be that relentless defensive piece for the Lakers, goes such a long way. Not every player needs to be a superstar. Not every player needs to be an all-star. You need those guys that are willing to do the dirty work, make the hustle plays, grind and work hard, play multiple positions, and Bronny James himself said he knows the only way he's going to get minutes currently on this team is by doing that stuff. He said it in Summer League when he was going off and, showing his versatility. I mean, he was fantastic. I mean, you saw the growth and maturity and the confidence. That's the key from, year one to year two, which is what you want to see. We saw the same thing in Max Christie, and look how he turned out for us, and then ended up doing that and then some with Dallas, right? But Bronny even said, and he acknowledged that, hey, I'm not going to get to show what I can do running an offense or on the offensive side of the ball. And I know that, and I'm aware of that. The way I'm going to earn minutes is by playing defense, being relentless on that side of the basketball, diving for loose balls, rebounding the basketball, chasing loose balls, creating advantage plays for this Lakers team, and just being that hustle player, being one of the harder workers out there on the basketball court every minute that he's out there. And I really do think that there is a role for him on this team if he can kind of maintain that level, which, it's that relentlessness. Now, I'm not saying he's a guy that's going to play 25 minutes a night and, be the primary guard off the bench or anything like that. I think him, Adu Thero, Dalton Connect, those guys kind of wonder how many minutes they play. I could see Bronny James playing, 45, 50 games off the bench. Guy gets the night off. Gabe gets the night off, or say Luka gets the night off, and it's okay, well, we need another guard. So then Bronny steps up and plays that role. Maybe you shift, say Reeves to the starting point, and then bring in Marcus Smart, and then you have Bronny and Gabe Vincent coming off the bench as those guards. So I could see Bronny James kind of playing that like I said, 45 to 50 games this season role where he's coming off the bench, giving you production, probably averaging somewhere in that 10 to maybe 15 minute range, depending on, because him compared to Adu Thero and, Dalton Connect is the guard position, right? You have Marcus Smart, you have Gabe Vincent, you have obviously Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. You also have LeBron, who could play and slot in at the guard position if need be. But beyond that, it's Bronny James. There's not as much kind of depth in that regard of who can initiate the offense, because even Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent's not going to be running the offense. He's going to bring the ball up, initiate, get it to LeBron, get it to Austin Reeves, and then play off ball. Right? So Bronny James, you're looking for him to do the same thing. Just initiate, bring the ball up, get it to Dad, get it to Luka, get it to Austin Reeves, and then play off ball, be that movement, that slasher, that cutter, and then be able to catch and shoot, knock down the three ball with some consistency. That's going to be the key. Can he knock down the three ball with some consistency? If Bronny James is good, again, not saying great, not saying anything like that. I don't want to put him in a box either. I want to be very clear about that. I don't know. Maybe he does become a star. He's 20 years old, right? Maybe this year he actually does. It's hey, we need to trade Gabe Vincent because Bronny James is doing and playing that part and playing that role, and he's more athletic and just better defensively. Right? Maybe Bronny is exactly that piece. I mean, on paper, he's exactly the kind of guy you want slotted alongside Luka Doncic. A versatile, athletic, two-way kind of guard that can, defend multiple positions, play multiple positions. Is he going to be able to defend up? Like, you look at guys like, a Marcus Smart. He's similar comps, 6'3", but he has that 6'9" wingspan. Bronny James is 6'3", he has a 6'8" wingspan. So he has the wingspan and the athleticism. He's more athletic too, to where he could. So will he be able to kind of defend up? Because if he can defend up, that could go a long way too, right? If he can now defend, Herb Jones or Jaden McDaniels or something like that out on the wing as well, like a Marcus Smart can. And we've seen kind of Marcus Smart kind of more with age has gotten better at defending big. He wasn't super great at it early on, but then as he kind of developed in this league, but now playing, and I think Marcus Smart is going to be huge for Bronny James at just being that defense. Because again, they're very similar as far as stature wise, right? Like size, height, wingspan, length stuff. Bronny James just has like he has his dad's athleticism. He also has his dad's court vision. He has a lot of the things that you want to see, to where I do think Bronny James could potentially be that all-star level player at some point. Not saying he will. I don't know. He's 20 years old. And I've said this 1,000 times. If he was anybody else, not named Bronny James, if he was Johnny Brames, we'd be talking about how we have the next star, and oh my God, why isn't JJ Redick playing Bronny James more or Johnny Brames more? Why is he the odd man out? Like all the things we were talking about and all the conversations that were being had about Max Christie, those same conversations would be being had about Bronny James. But because he's LeBron's son, people think he doesn't warrant a roster spot or anything. Say what you want about the young man. He's a relentless worker. He works hard. He plays hard, right? He's constantly in the gym. He understands his role. Self-awareness is like half the battle. Get a lot of guys that don't have that self-awareness or don't grasp that, like, hey, if I want to play, I need to be able to play within this particular role. You can always eventually get out of that, but right now I need to play in this particular role. And Bronny James understands I need to play in this particular role right now. That self-awareness is what's going to give him a head start compared to a lot of other guys that might not be willing, want to be stars or want to play X amount of minutes. Bronny just kind of stays the course. You saw the strides from year 1 to year 2 as far as summer league goes. Can he take those same strides during the regular season? You also saw last year his confidence build throughout the season. I mean, he had that game. Who was it against? Was it against Memphis? He had that game where he dropped 20 or whatever it was. I don't remember off the top. I think it was Memphis. But point is, he had that really good game. We were all like, wait a minute, time out. There might be something here. There might actually be, a young promise for this young man. Like I said, he's young enough to have been there. Half the draft is his age that was drafted this past year or older. He's younger than most. Again, he's younger than the pick we just landed this year. And people are talking about a dude theory like he's going to be this great superstar, which I believe he has the potential to be, right? If we drafted a guy like Bronny James this season and his name wasn't Bronny, we'd be talking about how he's great. There's one that comes to mind, right? And I'm curious to see how many people can name him. But name me 3 55th picks the last handful of years. And name me 3 that actually played a role without Googling it. I'll give you a clue. There's one on OKC, right? Outside of that, most of the 55th picks are either out of this league or buried on the bench. Again, the fact that he was the 55th pick and may even show signs of being a rotation player is huge. Most 55th picks don't ever even get the opportunity and they're out of the league in most times. It's funny. I see people that are like, oh, we should have drafted somebody else. Somebody else was deserving. Who's that guy? Who was drafted after Bronny? Because there were a couple people drafted after Bronny that people are talking about that has shown promise or has done more than Bronny James has done so far. What guy went undrafted that has signed that so far warrants being drafted over Bronny James in that last year's draft? There isn't. I'll give you the spoiler. There isn't. Right? So Bronny James, if he just keeps working hard, keeps his head down, clearly the noise doesn't bother him and stuff, which is great. And I'm sure that he understood that there was going to be a level of, hate and backlash and blowout because he's, again, LeBron's kid. I'm sure he's grown up and seen it over the years. But at the end of the day, I do think Bronny is a guy that could really play a role for this Lakers team. It's hard to go off of last year because he was a rookie who, didn't really play much, didn't really get a role, played limited games, limited minutes. Most of the time it was garbage time. Most of the time it was just, him just kind of floating around out there. Or it was kind of a spectacle thing. It was like, here's the first time Bronny and LeBron play together, which I thought was cool. I'm a big fan of that, right? I love history. I love seeing stuff like that. It's a testament to LeBron. But again, I mean, he played 27 games, averaged 2.5 field goal attempts. Like, there's not really much to go off of that you can point to and go like, oh, like, this is great or not, right? He averaged 2.5 points, a steal, or half a steal, half a block, an assist, and a rebound in that time, right? Like, you look at his per 36, which that's even harder to tell, but he's 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Like I don't think that that's unrealistic. Like, let's say that's Bronny's cap. One, that would be fantastic. I mean, Lakers could use that right now. Lakers could you give me a guy that's giving us 12.5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, basically a 12, 4, and 4 guy with 2 steals and a block. Sign me up. I would take that. I would trade for that guy right now. Lakers could use that kind of guy that has athleticism and that level of defense that he could potentially have. So even if his cap is the projected per 36 from last year, which would have been 12.3 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block, like I'm more than happy to have something like that. I don't like. Again, he doesn't have to be a superstar. He doesn't have to be an all-star. We need role guys. We need guys that, because we have Luka for the next 6+ years. You need a guy that can slot in alongside Luka and be that point of attack defender, be that relentless guy. Can Bronny James show that this season? Can he show that he can be that relentless defensive piece that can keep applying pressure? And I talked about it in the Adu Thero video, right? Where it would be nice to have like these waves of guys, right? Like where I could see Adu Thero kind of shining is as an assignment guy. So you have Adu Thero play kind of the assignment role. You could do the same thing with Bronny, where it's like we're playing OKC in a playoff series, and it's like, hey, yes, we're gonna have Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt and all these guys defending an SGA, but it's like throw Adu Thero out there. Throw Gabe Vincent on him. Throw Bronny James on him. Just keep throwing the waves on guys and start to slow and wear him down over the course of a series. Constantly keeping fresh legs on him. He's only one guy. You can have that effect. And it's the Lakers did it to Jokic in the 2020 season, right? That's how they were able to kind of wear him down. You had, Dwight Howard and then JaVale McGee, then Anthony Davis, and just constantly kept fresh legs, keep wearing on them, keep being physical with them. Bronny can be that for the Lakers as well. Just an assignment guy. We're giving him 3-4 minutes and a quarter to where it's like, hey, I just need you to be relentless in those spots. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.